Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee in Hand. I'm your host, Erica Lamberto, and today joining me is Rosa Yozzo. She is the owner of Rosa's. And before we get started, I just wanted to say congratulations on celebrating 25 years in business. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know that your father came over from Italy. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, do you wanna talk to me about your Italian roots?
Okay. My father came 2 years before we did, but I was also born in Italy.
Okay.
And then we came 2 years later, and he opened a deli. It was called Pasquale's on Blandina and Cassuta Ave in the East End. And that's what they did in Italy. So that's all he knew. He came at 42 years old, and he had the deli for 35 years.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Yep. He sold fresh produce and imported cold cuts and olives and all that good stuff. Yeah.
And then where did your family come from in
For
Italy?
the Amalfi Coast.
The Amalfi
Mhm.
Coast. And you travel back to Italy
I do
often, right?
often, yeah.
And what is your favorite part about traveling and visiting there?
Just reconnecting with family. It's like it's my children go and they know cousins and we had a gap of 30 years not going, once I
Wow.
had kids and college and life gets in the way. And then once we started going, it was like addiction. We were going every year, every other, just spending time, not so much traveling, but with family. We're all right on the ocean, so the kids just loved it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Is there, like, a favorite dish that you love when you go over
Oh,
there?
I'm a seafood person. So
Seafood.
anything seafood, seafood risotto, linguine and clams, or just baked fish, and you get the whole thing, head to tail. It's
Delicious.
just delicious, right from the ocean.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
So, my husband's family, they come from Calabria
Mhm, I've been
and
there.
Reggio.
Mhm.
What was that experience like traveling there? We haven't been able to go
Yeah,
yet.
so
Definitely on our bucket list.
we did a trip with, 4 couples, and we started in Sicily, then we went to Calabria, and the fact it's where we started at Reggio, and we went to a place called Pizzo Gallo, that's where their family was from, and it was great. We loved it. The ocean, was great, the beaches were great, the food, everything. No matter what part of Italy, it has its own specialty. So Pizzo had a tartufo, which was a hard shell ice cream,
Mhm.
and, you go to different regions, and they're known for their certain, specialty,
Yes.
and, it's all great. I haven't really gone to a place that I didn't like.
And what inspired you to open your own
A
business?
business, yeah. Well, I did help my dad for about 15 years, and I always had that in my heart, like, I wanted to share what I knew how to do, and, he knew that, so he started looking for some places, but I'm no and I said, "Well, do I really wanna do this?" I know it's a lot, and I had small kids, and once I started, I think my father kinda inspired me because he only sold produce and deli meats, so when I started helping, I started baking. I said, "Well, I have to do something. Mom retired and we started frying meatballs and eggplant." And she's like, "Oh my God, you're putting more work on me. What are we doing?" And I said, "Let's try." And it just boomed. So I thought, okay, we could try. And so I just went in doing what we did in his place and brought it to there, and just was successful. People just liked home cooking.
I was gonna say my
Everyth's from scratch.
husband is the biggest fan of your
Oh,
meatballs,
thank you.
so he
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
them, they're
thank you.
delicious. Obviously, you've been around for 25 years, so you're doing something right, and I definitely think having a home-cooked delicious meal that's also, like, the Italian way is making everything from scratch. I know my mother-in-law has carried on, that tradition
Right,
of her mother-in-law
right,
and, keeping those recipes in the family and making everything from scratch, the
right,
sauce and
right. So even like a Christmas Eve, my mother would make a certain Zapel that my son Joey would say, "Mom," my mother had gotten older and it's
yeah,
hard for her, "You better write that recipe down," and now we do it every year
the
just on
fried dough,
Christmas,
right?
but this one is a little different. That
Okay.
was and it's like it has honey on it and the sprinkles,
Oh, yeah.
and he's just like, "I have to see. Show me how to do it." So I would say, "Mom, the recipe," but sometimes she didn't have a recipe. She's like, "This much of this and this much of that," and I'm like, "Okay, just catch it while she's doing it."
Yes.
And we try to keep that tradition. I still cook all the foods that they cooked because my kids like it. Hopefully, my grandchildren will,
You wanna pass it down,
pass it
keep that
down
tradition,
and
keep the traditions
we don't,
alive.
like a lot of people do meats. We don't. It's all seafood, no meat on Christmas Eve. It's all fish, pasta.
I was gonna say we do, his parents do
Yeah.
lobster, so we
Yes,
do, like,
right.
the
Yep.
lobster and the
Shrimp.
crab,
Yep. Yep. Right, that's what we do,
yeah,
yeah, with all that. Well, my father used to do, like, a sauce with the calamari, but there was a fish, it's called cuttlefish,
okay.
which in Italian, it's called sepia. So, it's sometime hard to find around here, but I do find it in the fish market,
Oh, good.
and it makes a whole difference in the fish sauce. So, the kids are like, "Mom, you have to." So, I'm always looking for it, to make sure. Usually, I would get it down on consumed fish. He would always, have it for my father, and he'd say, "Pasquale, this is for you." He would know my father knew fish. If it
Yeah,
wasn't, then he would say, "No, this is not for you."
yeah.
But we had to have the sepia that made the sauce, something with the sauce. So I try to duplicate his sauce. It's probably not as good as his was, but it's close, you know? And you just have to keep tradition. I think that's where people are losing their traditions, and for those small kids, it's a good solid ground?
And I think that probably goes to part of your success story is you incorporating and kinda keeping those traditions alive, and especially around this community, there is, quite a bit of the Italian community that
Right,
that came and also, like,
right,
put
right,
roots down
right.
here, so I'm sure you have, a lot of people who do appreciate that and,
Yeah,
it's a rarity.
I just do really what I didn't go to school for it, so I just do what I was taught, and I know the flavor. If something if you taste it, there's something missing, because I grew up on flavors,
Mhm.
and that's how you learn. If you always know you have to critique something if it's not right, and you make it right.
What is your favorite dish that you make for your customers? Or do
My
you have, like,
favorite
the
dish.
most popular or most
Well,
in demand?
our eggplant parm is popular. Everybody seems to really like that because we do everything from scratch, and again, I fry it and cook it and whatever the way my parents did, and, they that and, sometimes when you work around it, it's like you don't even think about eating it anymore? It's
Mhm.
you have to go home and do something else, so just I like anything quick. Quick sauce, marinara sauce for me is the best because I like it from the frying pan while my dad would be boiling the water, and at the same time, that sauce would be cooking, and then you just incorporate it. Fresh basil,
Mhm.
and that's my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
It's quick and easy, but not something that's being cooked for hours?
What do you think is, like, your biggest takeaway or that you've learned from being in business for as long as you have? Like, what do you have any advice you would give someone who might be starting out or considering opening their own business or restaurant that you feel like kind of helped you?
To help me, well, what I learned it from my parents that they married their business. We were I say the sacrificial lamb.
Mhm.
So you have to take time. Even though you have a business, take time. You're gonna find that at first we didn't. We didn't close. We were open 7 days a week. You just have to take time and say, "We're going on a family vacation." Don't lose that.
Mhm.
Because we were sacrificed. My parents had businesses in Italy, so I knew what I was getting into. But if people don't know what they're getting into and they give up right away, you can't because it's a lot of work.
It's so much
It's a lot of work, and your children are, you need family, outside family help
Mhm.
to help with the kids too.
Yes.
And I would leave. So for me, I would leave, pick up the kids from school because I helped my parents. I could do that. If you work somewhere else, you can't. You are flexible. There's pros and cons
Mhm.
and everything. So you have to know the good, the bad, and the ugly,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, but the good is good.
Mhm.
And then everything else you have to kind of work together. You have to be partners with your husband
Mhm.
and be on the same page, and then it works.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have to kinda take it one
Yep.
day at a time,
At
and
a time.
there's always something,
It's
something
gotta be
comes
sup
up
it's
and
gotta be family support,
mhm, and
and,
I think treating your,
you're
your
treating your
team like
team
family.
and complimenting your team because without your team, you're nothing.
Absolutely.
You can't grow. You can be just mom and pop,
Mhm.
but you're not gonna grow. So, definitely the team and the people that work for you are the ones that, you know, need a lot of credit, and they need to be
Absolutely.
told. Yeah.
I think that's, like, the most important thing is, like, positive reinforcement and
Yes. Yeah.
making
Yeah.
sure you're, like, appreciate
And when
and
you have a good team, keep it
yes.
and treat them good
Yes.
because that's hard to find today.
I think too, it, like, shows, like, your customers see that too.
And
It's
the
a
cus
reflection of you
right.
and your business and,
The
people
customers
here and
at one time, they didn't know who was Rosa,
yes.
because everybody was playing their part.
Yes.
So that's good. And then, being at the counter, always treat everybody nice. And you never know who's on the other side of the phone.
Yep.
Yeah, just be cordial.
Yep. Kindness is key.
Kindness is, yeah. And smile.
Yes. I know.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
simple. It's a
Sometimes
simple,
you get
simple
tired and,
yeah.
and in the beginning it was like, wow, can we handle all this?
Yeah.
But you do.
Yep.
Then you
Like
just have to prep. You have to do your homework, just like school.
mm,
If you don't do your homework, you're gonna go in there and I say, "What?" But if you do your homework, that's what I learned. I said, "Boy, if I did this, I could have went God knows what I would have done in school." Doing your homework and doing things before knowing what you need the next day. Look at your list. See what you're missing. If you're missing coffee, you can't get that person coffee, right?
yes, absolutely.
So you have to have the products, and, always try to accommodate everybody.
Mhm. Yes, you
Yeah, right? That's it. That's really and just it's a sacrifice, but I'm an early riser, so it works
yes.
for me. Yeah.
Yep. I'd say, like, obviously, like, the beginning is the hardest stages
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
like you don't know what to expect and you tend to sacrifice more, like, we're still kind of in that stage of,
Right.
like, we're like, "Go, go, go." We're
Right, and you're
open 7 days a week and,
yes.
we don't have the perfect balance yet, but
But you'll get it because then COVID hit, and things changed a little bit. That's how we changed our hours a little, but we were there till 6 o'clock. Now we changed it to 4, and you're thinking, well, some customers used to get out of work at 5. You try to accommodate everybody, but they just got to the point where you have to accommodate you too,
mhm.
and they work around it. My son decided to open on a Sunday and he was gonna do Sunday, and he's doing okay with that, but his children now who plays hockey, that so we pick up the slack or somebody else do it, one of
Okay.
the employees, and it's a shorter day, but he's like, "Mom, I can do it, I'm here and there," and I said and he does. He comes when he can, and my daughter helps, and my other son helps Michael. I have helps, and my daughter Daniela, she has a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old, so now she's starting working on Saturdays because she needs a little space
Yes.
from the children. So she comes in, she goes, I kind of like this. You get to talk to adults. She's
Mhm.
there for maybe 4 hours and then she goes home.
Yeah.
You know, so it balances. So you have to reach out. And when you need something, you can't just say, I'll do it. Ask for help.
That is important to be
Ask
able to ask for help and
ask for help. If you
be
don't ask, well, you think everybody's just going to say, do you need help? No.
No,
You have to ask. And
absolutely.
that's the thing I never did is ask. So I
Yes.
could then you wanna just do it yourself because it's better.
Yes.
I do it
I'm the
better.
only one who can do it
Exactly.
this way.
Ex
No one else can do it like me.
Help and a good team, that's the key.
And is your son, I know you mentioned your son, is he gonna be taking over?
Well,
Or is
I don't
that
know.
still
That's still he's a teacher to be announced.
Yes.
Maybe the 3 of them together can do
Yeah,
something. That would be nice, you know? I mean, he does like it. He's like they call him the mayor, he's at the
that's so
counter,
funny.
like, if he comes in, he knows everybody, he talks to everybody. They're all pretty social, but he's the extra social. We
That's
they
so
call
funny.
he's the mayor. They always say, "Here's the mayor." But, he treats the customers well, and everybody likes him. They come in for him,
That's great.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any specials coming up that you do around the holidays or
Yes.
that you offer?
So on the holidays, we do hoop strufoli, but people call them pignolate. It depends on your region. If you go to Calabria, it's called one thing. Sicily, we in Naples, they're called strufoli. So it's the honey balls.
Oh,
So
yes.
yes,
Those are
so
very good.
we
And you
do
do the
those,
do you do the sprinkles
the
on top?
sprinkles,
Okay.
yes. And that's something that, like I said, we learned that from my mom, and that recipe that's from Italy. So we do the honey balls, and then we do cookies, and I also make the Calabrian pizza and cues. That's got raisins and nuts and honey. It's a very it's like rolled almost like a jelly, like a cinnamon bun. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's that honey on top, and I never did that before, so I learned how to do that. People were asking me for it, so I said, "Let me try this recipe." I had a cookbook, and I tried it, and everybody liked that. And I asked somebody that was Calabrian, because that's a big Calabrian recipe,
Mhm.
and, they liked it. Then on Christmas Eve, but which I don't do to sell, they do a fried dough, which they put anchovies or bacala in them,
Oh, wow.
so the kids don't like, they just like 'em plain. But, we do that on Christmas Eve. It's like a fried dough.
Yeah, I was gonna say my father-in-law makes zeppoli.
Zeppoli, right,
Okay,
it's called
I know.
Zepp
I'm, like, always getting corrected because I
mhm,
don't say it quite Italian.
Zeppels, yeah,
But yes, he makes that, fried dough for the
fried dough for the
kids,
kids, yeah.
usually right around, like, Christmas time.
Christmas time,
Yep,
yeah,
and the
yeah,
kids
they
just
love
go
it, yeah,
crazy over
yeah.
it. It's delicious.
Yes, it's really good, and then, like I said, every region does who calls it graffa, and in Naples, they call it graffa, which they put it's a potato dough, it's melts in your mouth, it's very good. So anything that I've had from any region, it's excellent, you know, excellent. So you have to go
I know.
someday,
Someday, yes,
someday.
someday.
Kids are small when they get a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I definitely, think it's special to be able to show your kids,
yeah. And
where
bacala, of course. I don't know if you make bacala, what the
Mm-mm, I have not. I have not yet.
a salted cod that they soak.
Okay.
Yeah. And you do make a bacala salad, or they do it in sauce, or you can fry it, and all different. This is what we grew up on.
Okay.
You look at it, it's just a big stiff fish. It's salted.
Yes. You're like, "Oh, this looks
But
great."
yeah, so I'm sure cuisine has changed
Mm,
a little. Here and there they critique it from our grandparents, but it's good to keep some tradition. It brings back the taste of Christmas. You know,
absolutely.
yeah.
I was gonna ask you too, what is your favorite thing that you like to do outside of, like, when you're not at your shop and you just have some time to yourself? Do you have, like, a favorite hobby or anything you enjoy doing?
Well, I like to walk, so I do walk with a friend when we can. Usually all summer long, we'll walk even 9 o'clock at night. So I said, let's walk. Okay. I like to go shopping. I liked, I look at recipes constantly. I'm always saving
Yes.
recipes. And I love to look at recipes and try new things. And I like to travel. I would love to go to New York or here on a weekend, to let's go shopping. But my husband's not a traveler. So,
That
yeah,
makes it tricky.
makes it tricky.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll go and then I'll go to Europe. And if the kids want to go, my husband went once. He doesn't like that flight.
Oh, yeah.
but he'll go again. We just have to give him a little Xanax, you know?
Yes.
And, just traveling, I think, is in my blood. I love traveling.
Do you
Seeing
have
things.
a place on your bucket list that you haven't been to that you would love to go?
I like to go to Greece, and I've been to Spain, but I like to see other places in Spain and Portugal. There's a few places, and I definitely want to go to Spain.
I've heard Spain is
Yeah,
stunning.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, and the
I
food's phenomenal.
yeah,
So really good.
I did south of France and Barcelona, but I like to see other places also in France. I mean, in Spain, I'm sorry. But I just like traveling. I would go anywhere. If somebody said, "You wanna go?" I'll say, "Sure." Yeah. I do have some traveling friends, so
Yeah. Have you ever done, like, the cruise? That they
not
have on, like, the
not in that
coast?
we did. We were planning and then COVID, and we had to cancel the Mediterranean cruise.
Yes.
The only thing that I think about that is, like, I wanna spend more time on land.
Mhm.
So
Not on the water.
right, so not on the water, so for me, I would love to, but I think I would have to stay a week
Oh, yeah.
just to see other things. 'Cause I don't know how much time they give you on land, maybe a day or 2, like
Yeah, my in-laws, did the cruise,
yeah,
and I would have to double check with them
double
on
check with
I
them.
know they had an amazing time,
Yes,
and they, like,
yes.
absolutely loved every minute of it,
Mhm.
but, yeah, I don't know the specifics of,
Right, the specifics of that, and Greece is definitely on my list. I like to see Greece too,
all the
just
food.
anywhere. I would go anywhere. Anywhere, Prague.
Yes, you're like, "Anywhere in Europe, just
Anywhere.
send me. I will go
It's just
willingly."
you're curious to see how, the other side lives, right?
Different cultures
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
their day to day and
Day to
trying their
day.
cuisine and just,
Yeah,
like, living
I think
a
I
day in
still
the
have
life.
that Italian being born there, it's like when you land, I say, "I'm home.
Yeah.
I'm
I was gonna
home."
ask you, do you feel at home when you go?
I was 8 and a half when I came, yeah, so my childhood, I remember there more than I remember anything in when I coming here. That's what's still in my mind is, we have big families there, so my dad he was the only boy with 14 sisters,
Oh, wow.
okay,
Wow.
and mom left everybody behind, she was the only one that came over,
Yeah.
so she would go back and see the sisters, and then, we'd go, and then one by one, they start to decline, and you have less and less, so it's like, I'm so happy I went just to see the family, my aunts,
Absolutely.
and my cousins, then their kids know my kids, and that to me is, like winning the lottery.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
irreplaceable.
irreplaceable,
Family really is
irreplaceable,
everything.
and that's what keeps you going. It's like, just have to be happy.
Mhm.
Just be happy with what you're doing, and everything's gonna work out just great. You guys do great here. Customers all love you. I hear everybody. I never heard anything negative.
Oh,
All
thank you.
positives.
Thank you for saying
Yeah,
that.
so you're on the right track.
And then you said you were 8 years old when
Yep,
you came over.
yep.
What was that experience like for you? Were you excited? What were the emotions of, like,
We actually
leaving?
came on a boat,
Okay.
okay? It's 10 days on a journey. Stopped in Canada first, and then when it was in New York, you're just looking over and you're seeing somebody sweeping there, and I'm like, "Wow," came from a small place to I was, like, happy and scared, and, my father and my uncles came to get us in New York City, and we had to drive to Utica. I don't know where Utica was, yeah. I was like, "Okay." Just it was a long way, all I remember.
Yeah.
It's a long way, and I remember them stopping at a thruway stop, and I think they had got french fries and ketchup, and I was like, "Ketchup, what is this?" Ketchup. Now they have ketchup,
Condiments,
yeah,
because it's like, we
now
have
they
one for every dish you could
now they'll
imagine.
have ketchup and mayonnaise on their french
Oh
fries,
my
that's
gosh.
how it's changed.
Yes.
But it was scary, I didn't know the language, and everything sounded like a buzzing, and, we came in June, I had to go to school in September, so
Wow.
that was not easy. No ESL and all that,
How did you teach yourself English? And was your father,
My
did he adjust
father
well?
adjusted, but he still was 42, and he learned how to write, read,
That's
and,
incredible.
And there was a gentleman that used to go to his a store that spoke every dialect of Italian dialect, and he would help him write. If he spelled it wrong, if he did it right, he would do signs like whatever his produce, how much it was a pound, and he would make his own with the markers, make his own signs, and he always said he was his, like, rock. He showed him everything. Yeah. He helped him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing that there's, like, different dialects
Yeah.
just within the
Well,
regions. It's
it's almost you won't understand.
yes.
My mother went to work in a factory with all Italians, and she would say, "There's Sicilian, there's Calabrese, Barese," and she's like, "What? I don't know what they're saying?" And then after a while, you kinda get it.
Just pick up on it a
Pick
little
up
bit at a
on it.
time.
Yeah, yep, so she adjusted too. She was in her 30s, and, to leave your father, sisters, and brothers, she took the reins in her hands, and then she brought my I have 2 brothers and myself. The oldest was 9, I was 8, and a 4-year-old, for 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you comfortable on your
The
trip?
trip was comfortable, I think my mother thought we were gonna go overboard.
Not
Well
a fan of sailing.
well, you heard a few people maybe seasick, and, I remember all
Yes.
that, but we're just running around, it's just like, "Watch your brother," he's 4, he's running, and I was chasing him, but we were all kids,
Yeah.
but she took that, something, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah. Just to have
Yeah,
that, like, risk and to make such a big
yeah, yeah,
move and leap, for your
but she
family.
adjusted, and she just adjusted, and she knew this had to be her life, and she never complained, like, I probably complained more than she ever did,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
she just was just my mother's just like a rock, she never complains, she just wants to be with family, family, family. She just were.
That's what
Yep,
makes
yep,
makes
yep,
her heart happy
yep.
and
And sacrifices, she did a lot of sacrifices, and that's what the kids have to learn today.
mhm.
Your sacrifices will come everything you sacrifice is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think too, like, learning about, like, what your ancestors went through, like,
Yeah.
my husband's it'd be his probably great-great-grandfather
Mhm.
came over legend has it, that he
Yes.
came over from Italy in a olive oil barrel
Huh.
and ended up someone was supposed to get him out,
Right.
and he ended up in someone's basement, and
Imagine.
luckily, someone heard him crying and
Oh my
got
goodness.
him out of it, but I mean, just the struggles and
I know.
the challenges that people have gone through to get us where we are today and just how important family is, and
They
at the end
just
of the day, it's what matters the
exactly.
most.
They sacrificed, like, my grandparents came in 1914,
Wow.
so we looked up everything. It was called the La Madonna, the ship, and I'm looking at the list, and he had his brother and another brother one brother left a wife there to and was gonna bring her once he got settled, and he ended up dying, 25 years old.
Wow.
Well, they catch pneumonia and they didn't have anybody, and, the wife was left there, and whatever, but that son that was she was pregnant for him, and he became very successful, in Italy, and then my grandparents went back when my father was 13 months old, so he was born in Brooklyn, and
Okay.
they went back and had 11 more children. Yeah,
That's
it's a lot, but
I
her
have 2
yeah,
children, and
teacher imagine that?
I just the number of children
Yeah,
some people have, I give them
but
major props.
her brothers came, like, at 15, 16 years old, didn't read or write, never wrote back home, they didn't know didn't have a phone, no communication, but they ended up opening, like, a soda company, which they did very well, and that's when my grandfather came with his wife, with her brothers were here, and, he worked for them, and I think the mom just was very sad in Italy because they lost one son, and so he decided to go back. You know, I'm sure there's more to the story than we know,
Mhm.
but you're lucky you have pictures, the pictures you have. And
Yes.
like, there's a picture of my father, probably a year old. He's on a white horse, but you can see the American flag. Probably it was
Okay.
his picture uh, right before he went back to Italy. But then he was raised in a town called Città, which is on the Amalfi Coast. And so he was more Italian than American. And then the sisters came back, the ones that were born here. They married guys that were American, and they came to America. And then he decided, you know, I have to make a better life there for he had 3 kids. My older brother was like, always wanted to be in school, and he thought maybe it's better I go there. So he let me go 2 years before. I'll let you know if I wanna come back or stay. So it was like, "Okay, is he coming or going?" So until my mother said, "Alright, we're going." Otherwise, he liked it one day and he didn't another, you know?
Yes.
But he loved where he lived. He just knew the opportunities were better here, you know? So you leave a place you love, but you have to sacrifice for your kids. Then my mother had a little store. She ran the store. Well, she had 3 little kids, and her father helped with us,
Yeah.
not realizing, and she would get up early in the morning, go to work, have a little stove in the back of the kitchen in the store and feed the kids and go to school.
Doing
Yeah,
It's
I
amazing
remember.
how much
They do it,
you can do and make
but,
make happen. Nothing's impossible. If you
nothing's
put your
impossible.
mind to it, you can make anything.
But neighbors were different. A neighbor will help you. "Oh,
Mhm.
here, I'll get her," you watch, That was different. Now it's like people are strangers. It's
Mhm.
not they used to look out for each other, which it all changed, the whole world's changed,
Mhm.
but our neighbors were like our family. They helped each other.
Which is it's nice about I feel like there is a little bit of that in the local business community. I will
Yes.
say, like, I do feel like just as a small business owner and meeting and interacting with other small businesses, I feel like there is that feeling of,
There's that
like,
feeling,
that
yeah,
connection,
and
a little bit of, you know
yeah, and let's hope that never gets lost.
yes, it's so
It's
important
important.
and key to keep
It
that
is,
as part of our society and just keeping that connection with other people and
yeah, the roots and who you know, and it's always about people and being humble. Just be humble. I know my kids, that's what I say, they had wonderful friends. They walked the right road, you just know from how you're raised
Mhm.
sometimes. If you turn left or right, if it's wrong, you
Yeah.
just gotta come back. You need that foundation.
Well, and I think too, it's like you lead by example. We always
Yeah,
talk about that
yeah,
too with, obviously we have kids of our own, but with our team that, when we're here, we're also leading by example for them. It's like,
right.
we don't just, talk the talk. You have to walk the walk. You have to like,
Exactly,
you know,
exactly,
guide them and show them and, hope that
exactly.
they just take that and that they grow with that as well.
Right, because they're gonna remember that. Maybe if they're not even doing it now, they're gonna be instilled with that. You
Yeah.
have to instill it in them.
Mhm.
Like my son Michael say, "Nona's pasticcicci." Oh, hers is the best. I make it, but there's always that little something
Yeah.
that's not like Nona's.
Missing
Yeah,
the
and
missing
yeah,
ingredient.
and he would take her shopping and come home, and that's what she knew what he liked, and just a frittata with just potatoes and eggs,
Yes.
and they love it,
It's the
like,
best thing ever.
and he'll say, "Wow, when I went to the Proctor and I used to go for lunch, Papa used to go get the broccoli rabe and he'd get the sausage and he'd make him a nice big sandwich." He goes, "Come on, go get Michael's coming," and he'll bring a friend. They didn't care. "Just come on, sit down, eat." My dad would just say, "Here, you want a glass of wine?" They're not, Dad, they're 15 years old or 16.
They're
And
like, absolutely, yeah.
because wine was the staple on the table, there was no age limit. In Italy,
Right.
my aunt would say, "What do you want? No soda, wine or water?" It's like,
Just
it's
part of
yeah,
the
yeah.
tradition.
No, I mean, it's just I remember going there and I was 15 and she'd say, "Wine? No. You want water or wine? No soda." Like,
So funny.
yeah, and my father would too. The kids would be in their walkers and he would say, "Here, even with espresso." I say, "No, you can't have that."
I know.
"Oh, let him taste it." Oh my goodness.
It's so funny because my son, he's 4, and obviously being here, we are drinking coffee all the time, and so he he actually loves
He likes
coffee.
coffee?
The nice thing is we have decaf, so
Okay, so
we're
that's
we're not
okay.
giving four-year-olds caffeine.
That's okay. I I love coffee,
Yeah.
and it's good for you. See all the things
Yes.
they say, it's good.
Yes, that's one thing I will say that nothing has come out negative. It seems like all the articles I'm reading is saying how good it is for your heart
Yeah.
and, like, helps with heart palpitations and, like, preventing those, so hey,
Listen, they've been drin my mother
all good things.
my mother's been drinking coffee s since she was a child, okay?
Yeah.
She's gonna be 99. She still likes her coffee. She's like, "Coffee and her biscotti." She dips it in the coffee,
Tradition.
that's what she likes. And even my father had a grandmother, he says, every day she'd have the coffee with the anisette, and she lived to
Yeah,
99, so
it's amazing.
must be doing something good.
Yeah,
Coffee, I
absolutely.
like mine black,
Yeah.
but I do like your chai.
Yes.
It's
So I
something
was
like I
actually that
love
was one of
that.
my questions. I
Yeah,
usually ask as, what's your go-to coffee drink? So you like just black coffee?
just black espresso, but I when I come here every so often, I get a chai, It's
Yes.
not that sweet because I
Nope,
don't like
just a
really
little
overly
bit.
sweet,
Has a
just a
nice
little,
spice
and it's
to
a
it.
I like the spice. So when I feel like something like that, I'm not a hot chocolate person but I love your chai coffee.
Oh, thank you. Do you drink anything different when you go to Italy? Do you have, like, a go-to or
I just drink espresso or macchiato. That's it.
okay,
Yeah. My aunt would ask for in the morning latte cafe. So they give you more milk than coffee. That's their
okay.
morning. Or and a cappuccino.
Traditional
But I like
Canadian.
my cappuccino with no sugar. I just like cappuccino,
Yep.
like
Just
just with
as
the
is
yeah,
with some milk
the
and
milk and it's
espresso.
yeah, I like the taste of the coffee, So I think stopped putting sugar like 40 years ago, and I just love it without sugar.
Yeah.
If there's sugar in it, can't drink it.
No.
Everybody's got their taste.
Yes. Where can everyone find your restaurant? Do you have like Facebook if they were looking for you online or wanted to
Yeah,
follow along to see, any specialties you're coming out
yeah.
with?
We're on Facebook, I think Instagram, and, we're located at 2644 Genesee Street. It's Rosa's Trattoria and Bakery and Deli, and we're right on the corner of Lyon and Genesee.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. It was so
Was
lovely to talk to you about, your Italian roots and, learn more about your success. Like I said, congratulations again. 25 years is incredible and obviously more to come. So,
and time flies.
yes, time flies when you're
S
having fun.
Time flies, so I your time's gonna go and you're gonna say, "Wow, where did it all begin?"
Yes. Yeah,
So,
we're actually coming up on 5 years
see,
this
I'm telling
coming year.
you,
And it really feels like we just opened
yeah,
yesterday, so
it
it
is,
goes by so
and
fast and
just embrace every minute and enjoy your family,
yes.
and business still goes on.
Yes. And I was gonna say our son was 5 months old when we opened. He's about to turn 5 actually in a couple weeks.
Oh,
So, it's
exciting,
just
yeah. I have one's 8, 2 6-year-olds, 4, and, 2 years, and a 5-month.
wow.
So it's like they keep coming. We didn't have any, and all of a
Yes.
sudden there's like 1, 3, 5. So
And I've heard from my parents saying, like, being a grandparent like, being a parent is wonderful, but being a grandparent is just
it's
the best
it's the
experience.
best. They're just, part of your heart. It's the best. You can't never how can you say no to them?
Yes.
That's what grandparents
And little
and just let
faces.
let the grandparents do what they want.
Yeah. Yes. Not too many
Too
restrictions
many
in place. They wanna have
restrictions.
some fun.
Yeah, let them have some fun.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you again so much.
Come, those guys are so great.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. And thank you everyone for listening. It is our favorite time of year, so I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's Eve, and that everyone's able to celebrate with their loved ones. And we will catch you next month.